Good day, everyone. Ali is here from Sophie Financial Network. Today is September 18, 2023. After a week absence, I came back from vacation. It was kind of like a vacation working just to see my friend there in Pennsylvania. Fantastic state there. So I visited two cities, Pittsburgh and Philadelphia. Pretty nice cities there. Good for you folks over there. Lots of humidity. Unfortunate hurricane is coming, especially in the October time. It's going to be a hurricane season. Hopefully everything goes well with you folks and around the world. So again, apology for my absence. I tried to upload some videos, but YouTube, due to my location change, YouTube didn't allow me to post any videos. So I just keep post you with just the daily notes. And I hope you just catch it up with this. So without any further ado, let's go to the chart and see what chart tells us. Let me just share my screen here. There you go. So here is my screen, and let me just go to S&P 500 weekly chart. Let's start with weekly chart. This small doji bar is just for today, just because we just started this week. However, if we are just got a confirmation last week, shooting a star, red bar here, and seems like market is getting poised for another down tick, probably test this SMA, which is kind of this pivotal point around 43.50. But I think market is just getting poised for another deeper correction to here, which is kind of like the ideal scenario for me. There are two scenarios for the pullback that I'm looking for. One is a 34.77, which is just a touch above this FL, but ideal scenario for me would be some kind of like a deeper correction with a pullback coming down in October time, somewhere around 41.76 to 42.31. So that would be a fantastic scenario if you see that, and I think that's going to be a great buying opportunity. So it's kind of like a broken trend line. So all trend followers will be smashed, and they think that market is getting back to the bear market. But I believe this demand area with a nice gap in this demand area above this pivotal point, below this pivotal point, which is kind of like initiate this rally, breakout rally, that would be kind of like a fantastic buying opportunity for me. I'm just looking for, again, later this month or in October timeframe, should see a bottom information. Indicator wise, if it goes with probable divergence in MACD or even a stochastic or even RSI, that would be perfect scenario. If this one just holding up here or getting down, that would not be a divergence. But if it's stochastic, we're just getting down, and this one is coming down as well, so it gives us oversold condition and probable oversold condition in daily coming along with demand area. That would be great buying signal for us. So we'll see how it goes with this one. But last Friday, market just smashed to the downside, and volume was pretty good, like a decent volume. I believe it was like over 111 million. This red bar for SPY, which is S&P 500 ETF. Here's the daily chart. So you're just getting into this channeling up here. So we are just forming a series of a lower high here, and here's the top on July. So if this forms out, we are going to double test here this pivotal point. But I think we're going to just, after a small pullback, probable scenario is going to be just going down, which is coming to this daily demand area. Again, 4,200 to 4,300. So this 100 area could be kind of like a nice bottoming formation for the market. Again, we will see how it goes. Perfect symmetry and perfect A, B, C scenario. This pullback could give us a nice buying opportunity. Again, we're just waiting for the market. It is not a forecast. We are not forecasting. I'm just looking for a perfect scenario for a buying formation. We just forming kind of like a QM pattern. Here is the left. Here's the left shoulder. Here's the right shoulder. and looking for trigger to the downside. If it triggers to the downside, probable sharp sell-off is going to be a foreseeable scenario. So we will see how it goes with S&P 500. Moving on to Nasdaq weekly chart. So the same as S&P 500, we got red bar last week, second consecutive red bar on weekly chart. And we can go and again another time to the downside. Don't forget Fed meeting this week. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see how Federal Reserve is going to bring the volatility again to the market, if it's going to bring it to the upside or downside. Everyone is coming along with a pause for this meeting, but most traders, investors are looking for the verbiage for the next move for Federal Reserve. So if they want to increase, or they're kind of like, again, Powell gives us a hawkish tone for next meetings, that's going to crack the market to the downside. And I believe it's going to happen. And this is kind of like a demand area which reacted once, but we can't just going back all the way down, which is coming to this FAL, which is flag limit. The ideal scenario would be here, which is 12,000 to 12,900 to 13,200. But I'm not sure if it happens with Nasdaq. So Nasdaq can go all the way down to 13,500 to 13,800, coming along to this flag limit here, FL, and that would be kind of like the bottom formation. Again, we are just looking at the market, see how market is going to react to those levels. But based on the technical analysis that I'm looking for, if you just look at here, a fib retracement, even very, very simple stuff, but everyone needs to do that. So we are just getting to 78%, just over a stretch above, and then coming down. So this is very, very important level for a reversal. And this reversal can go all the way down to here, which is coming back test this pivotal point here. So again, we're going to see how market is going to react to this. Moving on to daily chart. So here's the daily chart. We are just holding off for now this trend line. But as you see here, we're just testing once, high, test here, and again, higher high, and then back test here. We didn't end to higher high. We just ended up to a lower high and then back test here. This means trend line is getting weaker and weaker and weaker by multiple testing here scenarios. So the next level is going to be 14,200 to 14,400. But if it just break it down to here to 13,500 to 13,900, that's going to be a fantastic buying opportunity. I'm just looking for these areas like the bottoming formation. The time frame that I have is end of September. All the months of October could be kind of like the bottoming formation. So we will see how it goes. Moving on to Dow. Dow weekly chart, just forming up a very, very exhaustive move. As you see here, we're just forming a bearish bear flag here, just above this nice demand area. So if we break it down, I should say Dow can go all the way down to here, but I'm not sure if it gets below this, which is kind of 32,000 to 32,800. That's kind of like the ultimate scenario for Dow. And I'm not looking for kind of like a breakdown here. As you know, my favorite one is Dow, and Dow can still hit new all-time high this year by end of this year, which is kind of like a 39,000 to 40,000, which is going to be amazing. So as you know, when Dow leads, market bleeds. So just take it from me as well here. And when Dow Jones doing a better performance compared to the other one, it's not a good sign for the market, for the health of the market in overall. So we can go down here and then moving back up here, and probable sharp sell-off after that. So we will see how it goes. Moving on to the daily chart. So going back to daily again. So this is kind of like a short-term trend. Here's the low, here's the high, low, higher high, low, but ended up to what? So we just got this sell signal here coming down, test this trend, sharply moving up, but Friday candle goes down. And right now we are just forming again, creeping on this trend line, which is kind of like a sign of weakness. This big bear flag can go down here to 34,000, and I believe it can go even to 33,000. So if it breaks to the downside, it's going to accelerate the move to the downside pretty sharply. So the ultimate scenario for Dow, I'm just looking for 32,000 to 32,800 as the final bottom, at least for this move. Not the final. I mean, like for the short term, in October timeframe, that would be a great scenario. And as you see here, this pattern is very, very bearish. And when this one break down, it can go the maximum stretch. It's going to be a head to the neckline. Minimum stretch is going to be this shoulder. So it can go all the way down to here. So again, either way, it's going to be a bearish pattern. There's no doubt about it. Moving on to individual names, yield. So what a candle today. So look at the yield. Mother of shooting a star here. I haven't seen this shooting a star in yield. So this candle alone can just size something like this. So when this happens, I should say bond yield is at top information, and this tells me something because if we go to TLT, it can give us a probable buying opportunity, which is my next chart. But if yield goes below 4.8 to 4.7, that tells me that probably Federal Reserve is going to take a dovish tone, and we should just be careful. Probably market doesn't give us that enough corrective move to the downside. So again, just keep an eye on this chart. This is very, very important chart, and everyone needs to look at this. But right now, this shooting a star tells me something that probably Federal Reserve or dollar strength or yield, bond yield is going to be at the top. So moving on to the TLT, I'll look at that. So TLT just reacting nicely. Well, it has like inverse correlation to the bond yield, but TLT nice 0.57% to the upside. It just hold up pretty well at this demand area. But we don't want to see or double touch or triple touch here because if it consolidates here, it can go lower. But right now, yield just coming back up again. So we can see if yield is getting back to 96, 97. We need to see how it's going to react to this area, which is 96, 97. That's going to be very, very important for yield. Gold, I'm pretty bullish, and fair enough. We had this move as like a bottoming formation here, pretty nice to the 78% Fibonacci from here to here. So gold is forming kind of like a reverse head and shoulder. We need to see how gold is going to react to 1950. So 1950 for gold is going to be a decisive moment or decisive level for gold. So if it breaks out, any pullback could be a buying opportunity, probable scenario going all the way up to above the 2000 level. Again, keep an eye on gold. Gold can be very, very spiky, especially in October timeframe. I should say it's getting ready, pretty nice ready to the upside. So we will see how it goes. Crude, pretty nice strength to the upside, but crude is getting to the very, very important resistance here. 96, 96, that's my level that I have. We had nice surge since June. Bottom here, going all the way up to here. Nice retracement back down to here, to this area, which is kind of like a $78, $79, the one that I had. And then after that, you see nice surge to the upside. So there are two potential scenarios for crude. One is from here, we get another downside. So let me just clean this. We can get another downside move to here to double test this pivot somewhere around 82 to 84, and then getting back up again to the next phase of the rally to 96 to 96, 96, 97, let's say. Or we can see crude is just getting all the way up to here and then falling off the cliff to the downside. So at least for the short term. So 96, 97 could be very, very important level for crude. But right now, I should say, just be careful. I'm not going to be a buyer or anything on crude right now. I'm just looking for a pullback as a buying opportunity. If it goes all the way up to here without any correction, I should say it's good for investors or traders. Take out some portion because big sharp sell-off is coming. Look at these levels, lots of resistance here. However, I'm not looking for a crash or something like that. I'm just looking for a good correction to the downside. VIX 1.52% to the upside. But look at the VIX. So the market topped in August, coming down, and VIX just a spike up here and then coming back down here. But market didn't go any higher high, but VIX goes back here to this lower low. So I think VIX again just forming up for another buying opportunity, and probably call option could be a good scenario. But don't go over too much, like over the distance from the price, and give yourself 2 to 3 months. So that can protect your capital here for the call option. The good thing for call option is the risk is going to be limited. You know your risk. So that's very, very important. Otherwise, this index actually doesn't have any move right now. It's just VIX is going to the lower low, and market is going down to the lower low. VIX just giving us a lower high, so which is not good for VIX. But I think it's going to be a good play for now. This period of time, it's going to be danger for the market, so VIX can have another spike to the upside. Dollar just getting a strength, but I believe dollar, if bond yield move was real, which I think it is real, so dollar can go all the way down to here, and that could be beneficiary of gold and GLT or treasuries. And also stock market can move, but again, the stock market is kind of like a fishy, because when everything like a dollar and bond yield is coming down, that could be kind of like a fear trade. Um, Probable scenario is going to be bond yield is coming down, dollar is coming down, stock market is coming down, because everyone just to think about the recession. And the fear trade is going to be gold, is going to be a treasuries or TLT. So I'm kind of like inclining to this scenario, which gives us not recessions coming, but no one knows exactly when. But I think this can bring a stock market down and can give us a nice buying opportunity, probably last surge to the upside prior end of this year. So we will see how it goes. Moving on to technology magma indicator, still just lagging here. I think the next phase of the downside is coming shortly after we are getting to this 69%, 78% Fibonacci. If we take out this pivotal low, it can go all the way down to here to 900 to 920. So we'll see how it goes, but magma is not strong enough. Apple just a surge to the upside, but sellers took control. Last hour of the trading session goes to this gap. Any gap up tomorrow could be sold by traders. And to be honest, I'm looking for a selling opportunity for Apple tomorrow. So I wish Apple can have a good gap up here and fail. So next hour, if Apple gaps up and they fail to the downside, I'm going to just trigger for a put option. Probable scenario is going to be all the way down to here, which can give us probable next buying opportunity. Moving on to Amazon, just a 41 cents to the downside. Not a bad price action so far. So Amazon, there are lots of demands here. So at this pivotal point, 124, 131. So we'll see how it goes. Microsoft, $2.24 to the upside. Again, Microsoft, very, very similar to the magma. If you take out this pivotal point, it can go to 220 all the way down, $50, $70 to the downside. Sorry, that was Meta. This is Microsoft. Microsoft at 329. So kind of like a pattern-wise is the same. It's a little bit weaker. So this one can go down. If it takes out this pivotal point, it can go down to here to 292, 299. I think that would be the ideal scenario to see. Microsoft is getting more downside here to test this. And here is the pivotal point. So that's why it goes to this demand area. But if it take out this one, this is kind of like a fresher demand area, which is kind of like a fantastic, because it goes down here, everyone just getting bearish, and then gapped up, short squeeze to the upside. I'm just looking for this as a buying opportunity, which is 260 to 270. That's kind of scenario that I'm looking for. Google pretty strong to the upside, 138. Google can go to 142. And the last one that I saw here is like this gap here, which is 140 to 142. Netflix, pretty weak. So Netflix take out this pivotal point. One of those typical scenario, any pullback could be a selling opportunity. It can go all the way down to 353 to 363. Netflix is in a bearish momentum right now. Moving on to Tesla, this one is the same. So after nice surge to the upside, reversing back down, so 2 days consecutive bear bar. So if it goes below this, which is at 240 to 250, then Tesla can go all the way down to here to backtest this lower low, which is this high, this low, and this is lower high, and can end it up to the lower low, which is coming to this demand area. That would be the ideal scenario for the Tesla move to 180 to 190. Moving on to semiconductors. This one gapped down today, but nice surge after that. So still holding up pretty well, but I think semis bleeding right now. So they're just struggling to hold up their pattern. But I'm telling you, if semi take out this SMS once 142 to 140, that could be very, very ugly for semiconductors because it can go all the way down to 127 to 132, which is kind of like this gap demandish area. So 129 to 132, I'm just looking for this same SMH as like a semiconductor index. SOX, the same pattern, slightly better, still hold on this, but if it breaks down below this, it can go all the way down to 432 to 445. TSM, look at the Taiwan. Taiwan is just going down, and this is the ideal scenario. I'm just looking for 78 to 80. AMD, which we got our profit put option. Congratulations to our subscribers. Pretty nice, almost pretty close to 50% in just less than a week. Option trade in 2 candles, we got it, and we made it very, very well. So congratulations again, folks. This one gap down just to test this shadow. This demand is very, very crucial because this one had nice surge to the upside, one tackle, second tackle. So if the third one getting back down here, I should say AMD traders, just be careful if you're on the long side because this one can go all the way down to engulf this demand area all the way down to here to this pivotal point, which is $80. Then that could be ideal scenario for buy, but I'm not looking for buy right now. Nvidia, the next gap down 4% almost, but retracing back up, slightly positive today. Good candle for Nvidia, but I think that was kind of like the last trench for this wide range bar. If it doesn't end up to higher high, which is going to be a less probable scenario, I think it can just gap up and then coming down. Any take out this pivotal point, I should say, can easily break this level to the downside, goes back down to 360. So that could be very, very ugly because it can go to 320, 350, and then all the way down to my ideal scenario, which is 250 to 273. Again, I'm not saying this can happen. I'm just looking for NVIDIA's at 350 as a very, very strong support here. So 350 for NVIDIA. Let's see how it goes. Texas Instrument, 21 cents down, up today. So gap down again, coming back up. But candle was not that strong. Lam Research, 2% to the upside. Just perform better compared to the other names, just because it gets to this fake demand area. Again, if it goes down, it can roll over pretty sharply. It can go all the way down to 500 to 520. So we'll see how it goes. Moving on to financials, 6 cents to the downside, XLF. It goes all the way to 60% Fibonacci. If it rolls over, I should say ABC pattern is going to form. It can go all the way down to here to 32 to 33 dollar. KBE, which already forming a bearish consolidation, triple bottom without any strong pattern to the upside. So this one can go all the way down to here 35 KRE. Already make the lower low here. Pretty sharp sell-off today. The whole entire session No buyers coming back. So this one can go all the way down to here to $40. JP Morgan, this one hold up pretty well. So you see the divergence in the banking sector or financials, bullish consolidation. This one can go all the way down up to 140, 152 to 154. Goldman Sachs, a pretty nice surge to the upside. So Goldman is doing very, very well technically. So if you just see this one, this is a nice trend here between this low, this low, this low, this low, and Goldman is just performing well. I'm not buyer at this level. If it goes up here, probably it's going to be taking profit. It's good stock for trading for sure. Bank of America lagging, obviously, compared to Goldman. Goldman is here, Bank of America is here. So this one is just forming for a next lower low, probably breaking down to $26. Wells Fargo, not a bad candle today, $48 cents to the upside, 43.43, what a number. So it gets there, the supply area, it can reverse down again. So just be careful with financial names because Dow Jones and also Federal Reserve meeting can impact them very, very high. Moving on to the gold miners, this one I should say is getting very, very nicely a bullish formation here. And if it take out this pivotal point, which is $30, can spike up to $31. So again, look at the GDX, GDXJ, the same pattern. This one is just forming a nice trend line here. If it goes above this, especially $37, any pullback could be a buying opportunity for the buy, for the long side. AEM, 71 cents to the upside, kind of challenging this area. The next level is 51. Newmont, already W pattern forms here, pretty nice W pattern. So Newmont can go all the way up to here, I should say 44 to $45. Hopefully this happens because that one kind of like a disappointing to me right now. Franco-Nevada, 25 cents to the upside. Gold Barrick, 4 cents to the upside. W pattern forms. Moving on to XLE, which is kind of like interesting because Crude was positive, this one just lagging here. Again, keep an eye on this sector because this one can hit new all-time high, but this new all-time high could be a nominal. And then coming back down, as I said, Crude is kind of like has a potential move to the 96 and then coming down sharply. XOP, 73 cents to the downside, already coming down. ORH, $1.50, $1.76 to the upside. Kind of like a pretty close to new all-time high again. This one is doing very, very well, but look at the candles, exhaustive, no momentum to the upside. And if it gets to the downside, I should say, it can challenge this area pretty nicely. The level that I'm looking for is 280, 290. So we will see how it goes. Exxon, 94 cents up. Chevron, 72 cents up. Oxy, 17 cents up. And these names telling me that, especially Exxon, it can go to new all-time high, nominal new all-time high, but I'm not sure if it stays there for a buy. It can just reverse into the downside as well. So we will see how it goes. And I believe I covered everything. If you like this analysis, just smash the like button for sure. Put your comments down there. I'm gonna answer back as ASAP. And I'm not again leaving you again. So I will be here tomorrow and they move on with the daily analysis. Have a fantastic evening. See you on the chart. Bye bye.